Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakahakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom to the full elect. Now today I have this video, right, where or this scene from SpongeBob, I was watching it and it was very spiritual. It in a spiritual aspect, it went into basically how you have believers, right, and unbelievers, and in the time of trouble, how the believers of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will be taken care of, right? And you're going to have unbelievers who witness these things. And so I'm going to play it. Obviously, I'm not going to play the whole thing, right? Not trying to get copyrighted or anything. But, this is just fair use. I'm not making any money or anything from this. But we start here around like 144, right? The White House Shem Shai. We start around here, and I have it in 2x speed. So we're gonna play it and pull some scriptures.
Squidward, we must never question the wisdom of the magic conch. The club always takes its advice before we do anything. Oh, magic conch shell, what do we need to do to get out of the kelp forest? Nothing.
The shell has spoken. Nothing. We can't.
All right, so them, Patrick and SpongeBob, right, believing on the magic conch, right, is likened unto the followers of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai believing on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right, and moving according to the commands of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Whereas Squidward would be an unbeliever, right, as you're going to see.
Just sit here and do nothing. I'm gonna find my way back to sanity. But don't you two sad clowns come crying to me when your circus tent comes crashing down. Sad clowns. I'm free! Take that, SpongeBob and Patrick!
Dude, we're falling right out of the sky! We gotta drop the load! Praise the magic conch!
Right, so as you can see, right, they asked the magic conch, what should we do? It told them to do nothing. So being believers, that's what SpongeBob and Patrick did. They sat down and literally did nothing, right? But Squidward, being the unbeliever, well, he's like, nah, you guys are gonna listen to this and do nothing. Nah, I'm gonna go find me a way out. No way we can just sit here and do nothing. How are we going to escape? How are we going to eat, right, if we just sit here and do nothing? So he left, right, and then lo and behold, he finds his way right back to the start. And then this magic conch, basically has a miracle play out, right? Food just dropping from the sky, everything they needed abundantly, right? They got a tent, a table full of food, a fire. They were provided for because they believed and did the things that the magic conch told them to do, right? Which is likened unto the Lord's elect, following the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and being taken care of in the times of trouble, in the times where no one has anything. They're going to have that faith on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and be provided for during those times.
What should I eat first? The spaghetti, the turkey, the soup, the canned meat?
Why don't you ask the magic conch, Squidward?
Oh yeah, like that'll happen right after I consult the magic toenail.
Squidward, are you questioning the authority of the magic conch?
You guys have it all wrong. I love this piece of plastic. Hello there. Magic conch. I was wondering, should I have the spaghetti or the turkey?
Neither.
Oh, then how about the soup?
I don't think so.
Could I have anything to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Squidward, are you alright?
Maybe we should ask Michelle if he's okay.
Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Hello?
So you see how Squidward basically just watched the miracle happen for them, and he still is in disbelief. But since he's hungry, he's trying to play all, oh no, I'm with y'all, right? And he's asking the conch, Could I have something to eat? He's just like, no. Could I have something to eat? No. No, 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 no. Right? And that's how the Lord's going to be. This is only for his elect. Even if during those times, let's say a brother is blessed with food, right? And you have an unbeliever there trying to get food, and the brother tries to give him the food, but the Lord has the food fucking decay or something, right? Because it's not for them. It's only for his chosen, only for his men, only for his people. Right? So we just seen scriptures asking like, can I have food? It's like, no, 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 no. That's why scriptures say, then shall they be known who are my chosen. Because only they're going to be the ones provided for it and in a good standing with Yahweh Bashem Shai.
Do you folks need some help? I'm saved! You don't know how happy I am to see you. I have been stranded out here for weeks with these two barnacle heads and their magic conch shell. Magic conch shell? You mean like this?
The Magic Conch, a club member!
All right, Magic Conch. What do we do now?
Nothing.
Oh, hail the Magic Conch!
Oh, hail the Magic Conch!
Alright, so that's the end, and this final part where he basically has this random guy come out of nowhere saying, oh, do you guys need help? Right? And I seen this as like in the times of trouble, how the Lord's going to be sending his angels right around, helping his elect, protecting his elect, providing for his elect, getting them through that trouble. This guy came out of the grass like, oh, you guys need help? And then lo and behold, he pulls out a magic conch, right? Again, liking that magic conch unto what? Yahweh Bashem Shai. Liking that unto the Lord. Right? This random guy comes out of nowhere, which I liken that unto an angel, right? Coming to provide help through the demands of Yahweh Bashem Shai, right? You see how he pulled out the conch, right? That he and I believe, in the actual clip, I'm not sure if they said it in here, but he's like, the conch told me to come here. So Yahweh Bashem Shai sent the angel there to come help his elect. And over here in the end, once Squidward realizes that, what does he do? He conforms, right? He's like, okay, obviously this conch is the way. Obviously this conch is the way. It's helping him. So let me try and, let me just join him, And as we can see in this image, he joins them, but this is just a cartoon, right? In real life, when the Lord's out here pulling miracles and doing things for his elect, the people that are around seeing these things, who before time, disregarded the truth, disregarded the Lord, they're not just going to be able to just come and sit down with the Lord's elect, come and sup with Yahweh Bashem Shai. Nah, it doesn't work that way, right? So this leads to the first scripture I want to grab, Isaiah chapter 55 verse 6, right? Seek ye the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Right? So you have to seek the Lord while he may be found. You cannot just come and try to join in this thing at the end, because it's too late. Just call you upon him while he is near, insinuating that there's going to be a time when he isn't. Right? So when that time is up, it's pointless to try and call on the Lord. Like how Squidward just did at the end, is going to be pointless, because he's no longer near in means of trying to provide that mercy, having that door open to come unto him. Now it's going to be too late, right? Verse 7, that the wicked forsake his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Right? So that's for those who seek the Lord while he may be found. And now we're running out of those times, right? We're already in the midst of Jacob's trouble, in which things are only going to get worse, right? You think the Lord's going to have his hand, stretched out much longer? No, because the end is almost near. Let's get Proverbs chapter 1. We'll start at verse 24. This Proverbs chapter 1 verse 24. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Right? Because the Lord is stretching out his hand by way of what? By way of his prophets, by way of having his word go out. Right? He has his men out there warning the people, and they're not hearkening. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. Right? So you're not hearkening ultimately. Right? You're not listening when the Lord is trying to get you to turn to the right way. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. And that reminds me of when Squidward was trying to ask for the food. Right? And it's just like, no. It's mocking him. Because when I told you to do nothing and just wait, I was going to provide, you didn't want to listen. So now that I've provided and you want a piece of that, no. So the Lord, when he brings the calamity, when he brings the destruction, he's going to be laughing at these people, the people who set at naught his counsel, right? The ones who refused, the ones who didn't call on him while he was near. When he had his arms open, waiting for the hug, right? He had his arms open to hug you, and you just brushed them off. Imagine that happened to you. Like, you as a person, you see someone you love, right? And you open up your arms to give them a hug, and they don't even come towards you, right? It's not even like they come towards you and they walk past you. Nah, they just look at you and just turn around and walk the other way. How would you feel? And that's what 2/3, right, of our people are doing to Yahweh Hashem Shai. So now when you're going through some shit, the Lord's going to be laughing at you. Verse 27. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall ye call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Right? So again, going into what Squidward basically did. In the end, he's like, oh, obviously this is it. Right? So let me just join them. I might as well just join them. That's not going to work in these real times, when in these true times, right? Then shall they call upon me. So then they're going to try to call upon the Lord, right? But I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Because now you're trying to seek him, but it's too late. The door is closed. When the door was open, that's when he was trying to get you to seek him. Don't wait until the trouble is there. He was trying to get you to seek him before the trouble came, so that when the trouble came, you would be protected. The Lord's scribe Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 11, because the Lord's gonna basically he's gonna mock, right? He's gonna tell the people, nah, don't try to seek me, right? Go after the other gods that y'all been going after. Ask them for help, right? It's Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 11. Therefore thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape, and though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of trouble. So they're going to be crying unto, people are going to be crying unto their other gods, and it's not going to do anything, right? It's not going to save them in a time of trouble, and they're going to realize that. Actually, let's jump back to a couple chapters. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 26. As a thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed, they, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought me forth. Right? So going after idols for they have turned their back unto me and not their face. Right? Again, with the example that I gave with the hug, right? They just turned and walked away. But where, Salakia, their back unto me and not their face, but in the time of their trouble they will say, arise and save us. Right? But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. Right? So, in here, it's specifically speaking on Judah, but this is going to all of Israel. Right? The Lord's going to say, no, don't call on me. Because when I was calling for you, you didn't want to come to me. So now that the trouble is here, go call on the other gods that you didn't want to come to me for. Right? And then, as we read in Jeremiah 11, right? And cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. Right? And that's when people are going to come to the realization. That's when they're going to be confounded, as it reads in Isaiah. Right? They're going to realize that these gods that they've been calling on, these idols, are nothing but that. They're just idols. They're not true gods. Because there's only one true living God, Yahweh. Right? Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's Isaiah chapter 1. This is Isaiah chapter 1 verse 28. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. Right? For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. Let's look into this word, confounded. Chapar, to be ashamed, be confounded, be abashed, feel abashed, to be ashamed, be abashed, to display shame, demonstrate shame, cause embarrassment, confounded, ashamed, shame, confusion, reproach. Right? And you know what? They're going to be confused, right? Because going into, the ashamed of the oaks which you have desired and the gardens, it's because our people, right, when they would go after these other idols and worship these false gods and whatever, they would go under like oak trees and gardens to, burn incense or worship, right? Let's see. Here. So Isaiah chapter 4. We start at verse 11. It's whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. Right? Whoredom and wine. So the whoredom being what, going after these false idols, these strange gods, right? And the wine being these other philosophies, these other ideologies, false philosophies, ideologies, ultimately lies, right? The non-truth. So whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart, right? The heart going into the mind. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms, and that's what we just read in Jeremiah, right? So that was Jeremiah 11. Jeremiah 2. Right, saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought me forth. Right, whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them. Right, basically going to how they're worshiping or going after these other idols that hold no power. For the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. Right? So they turn away from the one true living God, Yahweh, and go after these other false gods. They sacrifice unto the tops of the mountains, and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. Right, that's going back into what it was speaking of in Isaiah chapter 1. Right, for they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. Right, because in these times of trouble, when people are praying unto these gods and, trying to get things to be better, they're going to realize that, as we read in Jeremiah 11, these gods aren't helping them. Right, things are actually getting worse. So it's going to confound them. They're going to be confused. They're going to be ashamed upon that realization that I've been wasting my time. Upon that realization that this is not a God, right? Or this is not my God, at least, right? Let alone a God at all. This thing that I've been worshiping cannot help me, right? It has never helped me, So that's going to be that, confounding. And then you're even going to have some, as we witnessed in the video at the end, how Squidward basically, representing the unbeliever, tried to join them in worshiping Yahweh B'Shem Shai, or the conch, right? So you're going to have people try and call on the Lord, but it's not going to work. Why? Because they didn't seek him when he was able to be found. They didn't seek him while he was near. Let's get Matthew chapter 25. We start here at verse 10. It's Matthew chapter 25 verse 10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Right, representing the Lord's elect, basically, going into that marriage with Yahweh Shai. And the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. And that's going to be the response for those who try to call upon the Lord when it's too late. Those who try to come to the door when it's already shut. Because when it was open, you weren't preparing yourself. You weren't getting ready for his return. You weren't getting ready for him. So now that he's here and you're not ready, I don't know you, right? I know you not. So you're not going to be able to just come and sit down with the Lord's elect as Squidward just did. Nah, I know you not. And that's why, even if they were to call on the Lord in those times, call on Yahweh B'Shem Shai, it's not going to be to any effect, because they don't have the key to unlock the power within those names, which being the Holy Spirit. The Spirit that got the Lord's elect to give diligence before he came, so that when he came they would be protected. And that's why scriptures speak about then shall they be known who are my chosen, right? We can grab that, because, well, let's just read it first. So in Exodus chapter 16, we start at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right? This is a time of trouble, right? Time of calamity. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Right? Going into basically the persecution upon the Lord's people. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Right? So then shall they be known who are my chosen. Why? Because you're going to be seeing, people are going to be seeing the miracles play out for them. Right? They're going to see how this brother or that sister calls on the name of the Lord and the Lord pulls through. And as we said, people are going to witness this. And they're going to see how they're calling the name of their God isn't working. So they're going to try to call on the name of the Lord, but it's not going to work because they aren't the Lord's chosen. Then they're going to know. That's why I said, then shall they be known who are my chosen. They're going to be seeing how the Lord's taking care of this specific individual or these specific individuals. How everyone is fucking starving and they're over there eating good. How everyone is afraid, but the Lord got the spirit on them to be calm, to not fear, to be courageous, you know? But another thing I noticed in the clip was, right, how they basically SpongeBob and Patrick, or when they first pulled the conch, and it told them to do nothing, right? And then you had the food and the housing and the fire drop out of the sky, but a miracle play out, right? That's what the Lord said He would do for His elect. It didn't happen to Squidward because he was an unbeliever, right? But for those who believe and have faith in Yahweh Shai, those miracles will happen. So like, yeah. While we're here, let's grab 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 27. We start at verse 26. 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will acquire them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Is that not exactly what we've seen with Squidward, right? He was the one weeping, sorrowful. But SpongeBob and Patrick, they were merry and had abundance, right? When all the supplies dropped out of the sky, it was literally in abundance, right? And that's how the Lord works. He works in abundance because that shows you the true power. He's not gonna, everyone's starving and you're the only one in the group, and He just provides you with a little thing of fries. Nah, to show His power, He's gonna provide you with a whole. He might provide with so much food you won't even be able to eat it all, right? You're just gonna leave the rest there to show you that this is my power, right? You don't even need all this food, but I just gave it to you in a time where there is no food around, But thou shalt be merry and have abundance, because that's how the Lord shows His power. He does things abundantly. He does things grand, right? It's not called a miracle for no reason. It's a miracle because it's how did this happen, right? In a time where it's thought to be impossible, the impossible happens. That's what makes it a miracle. The so-called impossible. Nothing is impossible with Yahweh Shai. But yeah, and we can close it out in the book of Isaiah. No, actually, I'm going to keep reading. Right, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that my children shall not see hell, right? And hell going into the grave, So the Lord's going to protect His chosen, man. Lord, wouldn't we be of that number? As it says, the heathen shall envy thee, right? Squidward, he was envying. When the food first dropped, he came, actually in the full clip, right? That was just a 5-minute basically cut up of the full episode, but I seen the full episode. When the food first dropped on the table, Squidward was envious, right? He came up to them, oh Patrick, you don't need that. This sure is a lot of food, and yada yada yada. But also, as we seen, right, when he kept asking the conch, for the food. He kept saying no, no, no. He was getting pissed. Right? He was about to crash out. You know? Let's see if we can get that again.
The spaghetti or the turkey?
Neither.
Oh, then how about the soup?
I don't think so.
Could I have anything to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Squidward, are you alright?
Maybe we should ask Michelle if he's okay.
Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Hello?
See? Bro, he was finna go crazy. And that's how it's truly gonna be in these times. And you sit to eat, people are gonna be losing their minds, man. That's why scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Let's grab that before we close it out in Isaiah. This also is in Isaiah, but let's look into this word stability. Amawana, firmness, fidelity, steadfastness, steadiness, right? Faithfulness, truth, faithfully, office, faithful, faith, stability, steady, truly, verily. Right? And that wisdom and knowledge is going to have the Lord's elect with a steadiness of mind, a steadiness of spirit, because the wisdom of Yahweh B'Shem Shai and the knowledge of just what's going on, right? The true story playing out, the will of Yahweh B'Shem Shai is going to keep them calm, right? The faith on Yahweh B'Shem Shai is going to keep them calm, keep them courageous. You know, while everyone else is over there bugging out like Squidward. But let's close it out here. Isaiah chapter 65. We start here at verse 11. Isaiah chapter 65 verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. Right? When the Lord was able to be found, he's calling unto us. They didn't answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And that's exactly what was happening through the dynamic of Squidward versus SpongeBob and Patrick. They were eating, they were rejoicing, they were good. Why? Because they listened to the conch, likening unto the Lord's elect, listening to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. So when the times of trouble came, they were good. They were rejoicing because they were taken care of. Versus Squidward, or the unbelievers, ultimately the rest of the world, they were ashamed, right? They were hungry, thirsty. And then when they tried to get, tried to be a part of what the elect, had going on, the Lord wouldn't allow it, or the conch wouldn't allow it. Right? Can I have something to eat? No. Can I have something to eat? No. Verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but he shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Right? That's literally the context of the clip. When they got all the food, they went to rejoicing, hollering. Let's grab that.
So, I must have it all wrong.
Squidward, why don't you ask? Praise the magic conch!
See? It was like, praise the magic conch. But what are we going to bracket how about Shem Shai? Right? If we're going to be continuously and relentlessly giving praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Especially during these times, especially when the Lord's providing for us during the times of nothing. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but he shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my children, for the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shai shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name, that he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the God of truth, And he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the God of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. Right? The Lord's, elect are going to be hid from his anger. But with that being said, Lord willing, this video was uplifting, edifying, or informative in some way, shape, or form. And what's more, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakah, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect.